Senator Hillary Rodham Clinton. But if you were a member of Congress and you had come out publicly in advance of an election, the primary election in your state, you represent New York, so let's say you're in the Congress from New York, and you've come out publicly to endorse candidate X in a race like this. But then the district that you represent goes the other way, and you are a superdelegate. What do you do in that instance?
Well, I think you exercise your independent judgment. Otherwise, Senator Kennedy would have endorsed me, since I carried Massachusetts by 15%. So I think that, this cuts both ways. And the whole idea of superdelegates is they are supposed to exercise their independent judgment. Now, it can be on the basis of anything, and there is no requirement that it stay on one candidate. It can move, because that independent judgment about who would be the best president, who would be the best nominee, who has the best chance to win, is obviously going to be affected by the evolving nature of the campaign. But I think we do a great disservice to those who have a record of service, who have independent experience with candidates. I'm aware of the fact that many people supporting me have been under tremendous pressure. And that pains me. It really does. Because I have long and deep relationships. Stephanie Tubbs Jones and I have introduced what has been called the platinum standard of voting reform. We worked our hearts out together to present that piece of legislation. Sheila Jackson Lee and I labored for 4 years to get the Republican Congress to approve a bust of Sojourner Truth, the first African-American woman to be honored in the Capitol. I have relationships and friendships and working histories with so many of you, and so does Barack. So for whatever reason, people with those kinds of personal experiences, which voters don't have, they see us from afar, they come to a speech, they watch us on television, and they vote, and that is part of the process, and an important part. But the whole idea behind members of Congress and governors exercising this independent judgment is to give due recognition to their different experience. But I do believe that the constituencies that historically have supported the Democratic nominee, women, African Americans, Hispanics in large numbers, working people, we must be united, because let's not in any way be deluded by what the current state of play is. There is going to be a very competitive race with the Republicans. Senator McCain and the Republicans will run a vigorous, tough campaign. And if we are not united, we will not win. And if we also don't stand up against their tactics, which they have been successful with during the last 2 election cycles, we will not win. So we need all of us, every single one of us, to be committed to winning in November, and I think we will, but let's make sure that happens.
Let me ask you to thank and show your appreciation to Senator Clinton for showing up in New Orleans today at our invitation for this State of the Black Union 2008. Senator Clinton, we thank you for coming.